Guys, I've just made a critical error. Just filmed that. And then I just realized that the card was blocked. The card was full. It's all a blessing. Key point, everything's happening for us. I'm gonna have to go back through it, but I've got more clarity anyway. Let's recap. Rhino run. I love how I forget about this shit, because then I dip back into it and I feel great. I'm on day 2. Benke's just overtaken me. He had a sleep here. I continued. He overtakes me after about 30 hours, which was demoralizing because I knew he slept. The sun's setting. And I leave that town and I was really scared. And I wasn't like, I've been awake for like more than 2 days at this point riding. So I knew that I could do that. But that's not what was scaring me. What was scaring me was that I couldn't sleep. That's what freaked me out, that I tried and I couldn't. So now I'm just overwhelmed with fear, right? Everything's happening for you on an ultra. And this was a great example of how everything's happening for you. I go up this climb as the sun's going down called Rusty Gate. Now this thing was, honestly, it felt like I was riding a fixed gear bike. It was like a trip into the underworld. I get up to the top of this thing just thinking, how did I make it up here? And kind of like pissed off. I'm like, how did they even put this climb in there? And then I was like thinking too, I was like, this mother Banky, I felt like he should have told me about it. Like he should have said to me, hey, there's this hectic climb, do not sleep because this is going to be ruthless if you go up in the middle of the night. But luckily, God had a greater plan for me. I actually got up there and the sun was still up and I was like, oh my God, thank you. But then the descent was even more hectic. And then when I finally reached the tarmac, the sun went down. Whoa. See, that's kind of where my faith started to foster a little bit, because I was like, I realized quickly how beneficial it was that I didn't sleep, because that climb would have destroyed me at night. I'm now making my way to this place called Stellenbosch, which marks the first section of the race. 740 kilometers, something like 11,000 meters of vertical climbing, right? Under 2 days at this point. I end up making it there at like, probably just past midnight or something like that. My only kind of thing I was telling myself when I was going to Stellenbosch was like, had this beautiful tailwind, hit the tarmac, and I was like, just don't look at the trees because it's starting to look like Cartoon Network. Not looking. I was like, I ain't looking at you right now. I get to Stellenbosch, beautiful town, and these two motherfuckers are having a punch on in the street. And I was like, where am I? Hey, it was really quite bizarre. Punch on going on. You had these like people getting pissed. I went to the gas station. I knew Benke was asleep, so I was like, I ain't sleeping here. Which was interesting, right? Because my plan was kind of working out. Because my initial plan was to go all the way from the start to Stellenbosch, 740 k's, one hit. And I essentially ended up doing that. No sleep, but I attempted to, but it didn't work out. We make our way to day 3. Sun's coming up, I've gone over a few passes. We end up making our way to this place called the Cedarburg, which is like it starts getting really dry and it was really hot, 40 plus degree temperature. My phone was on low battery, so I was like, I'm gonna charge it. I plugged the cord into my phone, which sat in this food pouch just underneath my handlebars. Gone down these massive descents, fast as, yada, yada, yada. I'm going up this steep climb, and then I have this like light bulb moment. I'm gonna check. I need to look at my phone right now. I don't know what everyone was checking, right? But I need to check it. I go to pull my phone out and it's not there. The cord's just like dangling. So I strip everything. I jump off the bike. I'm like, no. And I can just feel my soul just getting torn apart in agony. And you have to imagine, I'm at the top of like Mount Olympus right now. You know what I mean? I've scaled this thing with my bare hands. And I'm looking down, I'm like, there's no way I'm going back down there. And my soul's calling out to me saying, your phone's gone, bull.